Hello, Dancing with the Stars fans. Gold Derby editor Daniel Montgomery here with fellow editor Joyce Eng and our contributing writers Cordell Martin and Jeffrey Kare to talk about the first two episodes of Dancing with the Stars that aired on Monday night, the 24th, September 24th, and Tuesday, the 25th. We had one elimination. We had five scored dances. Or 5 scored dances on Tuesday, 13 on Monday, so 18 total. It was a weird format in terms of how they decided that elimination on Tuesday, which I didn't think was entirely necessary. But we will get to that. First off, let's talk about that elimination of Nikki Glaser, stand-up comedian, who I was not surprised was eliminated after her night one performance, and not knowing what her fan base might be. What did you think about that, Joyce?
Yeah, that was not surprising at all. Unfortunately, when she had 3 points more than Joe, but Joe had the Bachelor Nation fan base. So you knew, even though he got a 14, he was probably good. I don't think either of them were completely atrocious, but yeah, she just didn't have the fan base that he had coming in. And the dance-off format, I mean, we'll talk about that later, but she just improved 1 point, I think, from her score on Monday, so that didn't really help matters.
And that was from Len, who I thought that 5 was unduly harsh in the first place. So he just kind of
Len was really harsh on Monday for no reason. Mm-hmm. Ivana, we'll talk about that later, but yeah, that was not surprising at all. And Gleb is not one of the pros with a large fan base himself, not like a Val or the old guard of Derek or Mark, so it was just kind of a confluence of events, and she was unluckily the first one to go.
What did you think about it, Cordell?
Yeah, to Joyce's point, I wasn't surprised that she was the first one eliminated. I mean, usually comedians, they rarely do well in the show, so she had that against her. She wasn't obviously the best dancer on the show. And then she just didn't have the fan base. I would have loved for her to stay over grocery store Joe. I think she just had a better attitude overall than Joe. He was just kind of defeated and hey, I'm over this. It is what it is. So.
And how about you, Jeffrey?
Well, yeah, I guess not too surprising about Nikki. I mean, even though I actually thought she did pretty good work both nights she was on, and I would much rather have her continue than Joe, who, I mean, his routine, on night one, I thought overall had, efficient. I thought his routine, there was nothing to it. Yet, here he is, I mean, continuing on, unlike Nikki, who, despite some pretty good efforts, was eliminated, so... Again, not too surprising about her.
Yeah. I was rooting for her going into the season, of course, not knowing what her dance quality was going to be like. I mean, she needed to really have it, because that was going to be her way to build a fan base. That was going to be a way to give her a buffer in the scores in case she didn't have a fan base right away, so that she could stick around for a few weeks and really, develop that. I love that banter with the judges where, she was joking with Bruno about how he was burning more calories judging than she was dancing. So I really, really liked her, and I'm really sad that she was eliminated. It wasn't surprising that grocery store Joe Mobley was safe from elimination. It was surprising to me how safe he was.
Yeah, he wasn't in the bottom 6.
Not even in the bottom 6. When you combine the judges' score with the viewer votes, he had the bottom judges' score. So the fact that he wasn't even in the bottom 6 when all of that was factored in, that's a little scary, because it tells me that he had probably he was probably in first or second place, no lower than third place in terms of the viewer votes that were coming in for that dance on Monday night.
Yeah, someone smarter than me can do the math and calculate how many votes he would need to overcome that deficit. But that's a lot, because also the way they did the elimination, they'll just put random people in jeopardy and eliminate the lowest scorer or the combined votes. But they purposely announced the bottom 6, and then we knew for sure where John Schneider plays, because then miraculously, you don't have to do the dance off. Mm-hmm. So it was yeah, like the fact that he wasn't even in the bottom half was really telling. So, and I feel like if he survives like the double next week and he just like improves even like a little bit and have like his scores improve, like he could go really far with that fan support.
Yeah, I honestly, I'll be okay with it. Like, because I remember this reminds me a little bit, and I'm kind of hoping it takes this trajectory to give him the benefit of the doubt slightly. I remember Drew Scott, season 25. His first dance was kind of a hot mess, kind of messed up his choreography, and I was like, oh no, just gone. But then he improved. Like once he got the choreography down, once he didn't screw up the actual steps, he had a rhythm, he had a style. So I'm still hoping that there's the hope for that for Joe. I
think because he like messed up in the middle and he just like never recovered. And I feel like once he can like get over his nerves and like know how to just continue on after a mistake and don't act like, oh, I messed up and that was a mistake, he will do better. Like I think I don't think he was like outrageously awful. Like I don't think anyone was like really bad. Like I thought the 14 was kind of harsh.
No, I think the 4 was fair. compared to what Len was giving. Like Alana got
on the Len scale.
yeah. Ivana got a 5. She didn't deserve a 5.
Yeah, I feel like Len just doesn't like you.
Which I don't know why. Like, is it Len then the one who keeps like nudging the producers? It's like, yeah, give him Charo, give him Barbara Corcoran, get him out of here in the first 2 weeks. Ivana is actually.
Well, because also, like, I mean, it sucks going early on in the show because, like, they have to set a tone so they can't, like, bring out, like, the high scores that early. So it kind of sucked for, like, Mary Lou and Milo and Ivana. But that was not a 5 dance.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Moving to the top of the leaderboard, we had Tinashe and DeMarcus Ware. I thought one of those placements made sense. I thought the judges got a little enthusiastic towards the end of the night. They ended with DeMarcus, and they were so willing him to be that kind of show-stopping performance. And I thought he was quite good, especially for a first night. But I do think they were selling him more than he was selling the dance a little bit. What did you think about that, Cordell?
Yeah, I mean, he just fits the same box as previous NFL champions on the show, like Emmitt Smith and Donald Driver and Rashad Jennings. Like, he has charisma for days. He can sell the dance, whether he's not the best from a technical standpoint. And then they're just already pimping him. They're like, you're the one to beat. And, he got the encore dance. And, of course, he got the pimp slot the first night to perform. So, if I was a betting man, I definitely will pencil him as either first or second when this is all said and done.
Yeah. What did you think about those top 2, Joyce?
Yeah, not surprising. I think like pretty much everyone predicted that both of them would do well. DeMarcus reminds me of Donald Driver, who won season 14, and he also wasn't one of the best technical dancers of the football players we've had, but he had tremendous stage presence, and I feel like DeMarcus has similar stage presence. So I feel like if he doesn't prove to be like a really technical dancer, like he has that to compensate for it. I mean, he's not bad, obviously. So yeah, that wasn't surprising. And Tinashe, I thought was good. She had like great like musicality, but like, that's expected of her. Like she's a dancer. And I thought the choreography from Brandon it reminded me of like Mark. It was like in that same vein. So I don't know like if like, his future choreography is going to be like that, or I don't know, but I just have like visions of Mark during that dance.
And what did you think of the top 2, Jeffrey?
Well, yeah, I thought Tinashe definitely had the performance of the night. I thought she and Brandon Armstrong were both excellent. And yeah, and I thought DeMarcus, along with Lindsay Arnold, I thought they both ended the show on with a bang. So yeah, it would not surprise me to see those two make it to, well, I would not be surprised if it's down to those two in the finale.
I think they're both pretty secure to make it far. I think DeMarcus is safer for the finals. Tinashe, I wonder, like she was announced safe, but I wonder if she might almost be in the same boat as Alexis Ren, who we saw land in the bottom 6, even though she was one of the top 4 highest scoring dancers. Like
she was really good too.
Yeah, and we don't know how close. Like for all we know, Tinashe was just one notch ahead of John Schneider, or we don't know what her viewer support is, and we've seen. Especially these really good dancers, especially a lot of these really good women, they get really great scores. So we don't see how much they're tested. And then when they not necessarily stumble, but like if they land in the middle of the pack or second or third, they're in more trouble than we think they are. They become a Simone Biles who was eliminated in 4th place, or even a Normani who makes it to the finals, but lands in 3rd, even though she's the highest scoring dancer of the season. So I'm worried about Tinashe. I feel like DeMarcus is safe. If he's smooth, if he doesn't have a complete grocery store Joe collapse, then I think he'll make the finals, as long as he shows a kind of steady improvement. I don't think this level of dancing is quite gonna get him there. But yeah, I think he's safe. I think Bobby Bones is scarily.
He's the underdog of the season.
I run a poll as soon as the episode ended. Which was your favorite performance of the night? And it was split a bunch of ways. It wasn't a blowout, but Bobby Bones had the most votes for the best performance of the night.
It's just his attitude, and yeah. Although I feel like if he does that every week, it could get very annoying. So
it will get old. Yeah,
he can't do that every week. But I completely understand it for the first week. That's the first dance. He did it, and he acknowledged I know I'm not the best dancer, but I'm gonna have the best time. So that wins over people.
Oh yeah.
And what I think he needs to balance that out is not to be the crazy, jumpy, hyper guy every week. What he needs is to get one of those kind of most memorable year kind of dances, to get the emotional story out, or get him a contemporary routine, or a slower dance, a rumba, something where he can kind of show another side of himself, so he's not just the jumping bean. What do you think about Bobby, Cordell?
Yeah, I think he reminds me of just that underdog contestant who wasn't the best dancer, but the fans rally behind because of their journey, like a Kelly Osbourne or Rob Kardashian, just to name a few, those type of contestants. I think he's going to go really far. I could see him possibly making to the finals. I wouldn't be surprised, because I think his fan base is going to increase and improve week after week. But just to you guys' point, as long as he, finds a fine balance of not always just being super energetic and crazy every week, I think he'll be fine. But I can see him lasting a while.
What do you think about Bobby, Jeffrey?
Well, I agree with the points Cordell made. And, his first routine with Sharna Monday night certainly showed a lot of enthusiasm. So, yeah, I'd say they got potential to, last at least a while. And we shall see if they can really keep up the work as shown on display Monday night. So, yeah, I guess they are worth keeping an eye out on.
Now, going into night 2, you had those bottom 6 celebrities, which included John Schneider, and then they, out of nowhere, they said oh no, John Schneider, you don't have to dance. I feel like
they realized the show was running long. Damn it, we don't have time for 6 dances. Okay, just call the next person safe.
Yeah, that's what it felt like, because it felt so random. Just
it's Tom, why did you waste 2 minutes interviewing young Gamora? We could have had a dance.
Yeah, we could. I mean, I love that they announced the juniors, but they could have trimmed that segment a bit. We didn't.
The whole episode was just a complete time suck because first of all, like when they announced like the lineups for both nights, they made it sound like on Tuesday all 13 couples were gonna dance again, and they all had the same style of dance, just new choreography, new songs. And then all of a sudden, when the show started, it was like, oh no, it's like bottom 6, and then it's a dance off. So I was like, when did you guys decide this?
And you can tell from the clip packages that everyone prepared, like if it had been a different bottom 6, we would have seen different. They would have had.
But it's like also, why didn't you just announce that? Like, oh, like the bottom 6 will have to like be part of a dance off instead of making it seem like all 13 was going to dance again.
Yeah, it felt like there might have been like a last minute determination there. I even thought going into the night, it's like, they're all performing again, but we're going to get the Dancing with the Stars Junior announcement.
Yeah, it's like there's no time for like all of them.
So I was wondering when they were going to fit it in. It's like, okay, maybe we won't get clip packages this time because we already saw clip packages on Monday night, but those were already short. So and they were going to have a musical performance. Like, what were you going to fit the extra dances? What was interesting is that once John Schneider was declared safe, the bottom 5 celebrities were all women. That was, I did the math when I was looking this up. It's like, it's not like Dancing with the Stars has a history of like sexism in that sense, because half of the Mirrorball Trophy winners have been women. Almost exactly half of all finalists in the history of the show have been women. It's been surprisingly very gender, equal. Where that's concerned, it just feels like a weird bad luck. Though I felt good that Ivana was one of the 2 women who was safe, even though she had one of the lower scores, which tells me, okay, she's got a fan base voting for her. I'm happy. Get Keo a little farther in this darn competition. Well, what did you think about those bottom 5, Cordell?
Just looking at who were placed in the bottom 5, I'm not surprised. I mean, Mary Lou, initially I thought would have been one of the top 7 that was safe, but her disadvantage was that she went first, night 1. So by then people forgot all about her. Alexis, although she did really well, her performance didn't really like stand out like DeMarcus or Tinashe, and also she didn't have the name recognition to really, make her safe. And then with Nikki, we all knew that Nikki was gonna, be in the bottom and be in jeopardy to go home. Nancy, I kind of had a feeling that she would probably be in the bottom half. Her performance was okay, but it wasn't like mind blowing, and didn't stand out amongst the other groups. And then, am I missing someone else?
Danielle.
Oh, I was on the fence with Danielle. I didn't know how the viewers were going to react with her, because I mean, we've seen this type of journey with so many different contestants. So I didn't know if it was more like burnt out from the audience, like, okay, we know how this journey is. Ariane's going to bring out the tears and say she's the most inspirational contestant ever. And then also she was kind of in the middle of the pack of her performance order, and it wasn't anything that was, once again, groundbreaking or mind-blowing. So I was kind of on the fence with her in terms of if she was going to be safe or not. So I wasn't too surprised with the bottom 5.
Yeah, me neither. I was a little, like, once we found out Grocery Store Joe was safe, and then Danielle was in jeopardy. Like, this guy gave that performance on Monday night, and then he gets to kick his feet up while the blind woman has to dance again. I'm like thinking, I was saying last night during our group chat, like, he should at least be serving people drinks backstage. Just like, make yourself useful, man, because that's not fair.
And you could tell she was like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to do dance again. It's like,
and she looked more nervous because, I mean, unlike Monday night, she didn't know for sure that she was going to have to dance again on Tuesday.
And her dog wasn't there.
Her dog wasn't there, and she had the pressure of, well, maybe I'm going to be eliminated, and so she did miss a couple more steps than she did the first time. But honestly, unlike Joe, who could see where he was going, she actually recovered from it quite well. Like, she
is a professional athlete and a Paralympic bronze medalist, so she flies down hills and she can't see. So I have vision and I cannot do that. So. But I feel like I'm not surprised that she was in the bottom 5 either, because she also, like you guys said, like she has no name recognition, and like this early on, it's so easy to just get lost in the middle of the pack. And I feel like she has skill, and it's like her story is so admirable, and I feel like if she can just make it through the first couple of weeks, like she will pick up the support and new fans. I'm really curious to see how she would do in like a Latin dance or any dance where you don't have holds, because she lucked out with the foxtrot the first week and having everything in hold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hold is definitely going to be easier for her. It'll be probably difficult. But they should get her probably a contemporary as soon as possible, because I feel like she would, he could, like, Artem could just pick her up and just do...
and spin her.
Just, it'll be fine. What did you think about those bottom celebs, Jeffrey?
Okay, so now I guess I wasn't too surprised about Danielle getting in the bottom. I mean, I thought she did, along with Artem, did some carefully solid work both nights. But, I mean, she does have the disadvantage of being blind, even though she's been successful as an athlete. I mean, as for some of the others, I thought, they actually did some pretty good work. Like, I thought Alexis and Alan both did some great work both nights, even though I guess maybe part of what gave her the slip was the fact that on her first night there was a wonky camera shot near the end that didn't allow audiences to see the whole thing, so maybe that might have been a factor. And I thought Mary Lou and Sasha both, of course they went first on the first night, and I thought they did a great routine to start off the season, and I thought last night they displayed a lot more professionalism. I thought Alexis and Alan both did. I already talked about them. I thought Nancy and Val both did some pretty great work. I mean, especially on the first night, I thought they did better than a lot of people were anticipating.
Please try a little later.
Sorry about that. That was my Alexa when you said Alexa.
Well, good thing my Alexa's in another room, so yeah.
Well, now that we've got one week of performances under our belt, we've had our prediction center open at Gold Derby since a few days after the cast was announced. We didn't see them dance, so now that we've seen them dance, have your predictions changed at all about who's going to win, Joyce?
No, I feel like the top performers like DeMarcus and Tinashe, they did what was expected. So I still have them in the top. So I could see either of them winning.
How about you, Cordell?
Yeah, I think it's going to be between DeMarcus and Tinashe. I think I'm narrowing it down between 3 other possible contenders to join them in the finals. Bobby Bones, I just think he's just going to be that fan favorite. Juan Pablo, I was expecting more from him. Night 1 was a little disappointed. I mean, I thought he danced really well, but it was just lacking something. So it'll be.
They really want him to happen. Like he's going to be like the hottie of the season.
And honestly, they gave him like a pitch right down the middle. They gave Juan Pablo de Pache the salsa.
Yeah.
It's like, that's like, I mean, come on. They just like trying to hand this to you.
Also, they always give like Cheryl these like hot guys, like Gilles or like Christian de la Fuente or like William Levy. Like this is like another one like that. Like they just give her like a hot guy, and like he's going to be shirtless like 80% of the time.
Yeah. I'm surprised she didn't get that shirt off, and like it's a salsa. I mean, come on. It's like even Gleb, like he knew. It's like I need to get those votes, as many votes as I can. So he ripped open his shirt both nights. Yeah, I think Juan Pablo is still a question mark too. What do you think, Jeffrey, about your predictions for who will win?
Well, yeah, I agree. That's probably between Tinashe and DeMarcus. As for others, I mean, well, to the previous statements made about Juan Pablo, while I thought his performance with Schellberg on Monday night was fine, though I think they may still have potential. And in fact, I will say Milo Manheim, he was a surprise. Like he's so far looks like he may just not only do better than Jake T. Austin did a few seasons back, but he could just be one of the more successful Disney kids. So I'll have to wait and see if he'll end up being.
He has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of like those tall guys who could actually move. or like knows how to like use his body.
Yeah, and he's already outdone Jake T. Austin, thankfully. So
Well, yeah. So we'll have to wait and see if he can be nearly as successful as Jordan Fisher.
Oh yeah, I don't see quite Jordan Fisher-ness in him yet, because Jordan Fisher was like right out of the gate. It was just like pretty much perfect. I don't think Milo is that. He's kind of rough around the edges, but he's got the rhythm. He's got the musicality. He can keep up. He can do choreography. He's got great lines, like the judges were saying. He's got that really tall frame that looks great on the dance floor. I've got him. Like I moved him into my top 5. I think he's got enough of a fan base because, you know, he had like 5th place scores, so he could have easily landed in the bottom 6 if he didn't have anyone who like was paying attention to him or cared to vote
It's
for
all
him.
the Cameron Manheim fans.
Yes, all Cameron Manheim just hosts viewing parties and get everyone to dial, you know.
All the practice fans.
She should just like bring the cast of the practice to the show just to, you know, cheer
Yeah,
them
Dylan
on.
McDermott is voting every Monday night.
I wonder if he just missed the cutoff for Dancing with the Stars juniors, though, just because he's 17. I wonder, you know, like if he were maybe a year younger, they would have had him for the
He
other
also
show.
like looks older because he's taller.
He does.
Like those kids are like 4 feet tall.
Yeah, and he does look older. Like I'm always like, oh wait, he's 17. I keep forgetting that he's like one of those like Shawn Mendes people. He you know, who's also tall, and I was like, oh, I forget you were like just a teenager. So yeah, I've got him in my top 5. I've got Bobby Bones in my top 5 now. I've got only one woman in my top 5 just after this past week. I'm worried about their fan bases, and that's Tinashe. But I actually moved DeMarcus into first place because I'm more confident in him getting that far. I think Tinashe could be a surprise elimination somewhere down the line. I think she'll always have the scores to stay in it. But like as the competition whittles down to the top 5, 6 contestants, even if she's like second or third on the leaderboard, that could put her at risk. If she doesn't have the votes. So I've got DeMarcus in first and Tinashe in second. And right now everyone is still jockeying for position to get to that final spot in the finals, I think. Well, any final thoughts about week 1 overall, Cordell?
I mean, overall, I thought it was a pretty solid premiere. You know, I was expecting to have that one train wreck performance, but everyone kind of, you know, put in a solid routine. And, you know, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Yeah. How about you, Joyce?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent premiere. No one was really bad. We got like some good dances, some serviceable dances, which, you know, it's like what you expect from a premiere, like a first night. So I feel like a lot of people have potential, which is good to see. I just hope they don't throw in these like random format changes for eliminations going forward. I mean, they'll eventually get down to just the Monday night show, so they have to just cut someone that night. But yeah, I was just kind of like, what the hell are you doing with that dance off yesterday?
Yeah, by the end it was going to be like rock, paper, scissors to decide who stays. Any closing thoughts from you, Jeffrey?
Well, I agree with everything that's already been stated. That, you know, it was nice premiere to see that every single couple had their own, I guess, had a nice little routine, even though some were clearly not as good as others. But yeah, it should be interesting to see how each of them progress next week and to see who doesn't progress as much. But yeah, so far I'd say we're off to a pretty good start.
Yeah. I agree that we are. And now that unfortunately Nikki is gone, I just would love to lobby Dancing with the Stars to kind of bring her back as some kind of like correspondent. Don't want to necessarily.
She need to bring back Dance Center. She could go on Dance Center.
Oh, she'd be so great. She could do like stand up, just like they do musical performances every once in a while. Just have her do a stand up set during a result show or something like that. That would be, no offense to Mackenzie Ziegler, I'd enjoy that a little bit more. So just keep her in the Dancing with the Stars family. She's very funny and she enjoys it very, very much. So with that, thank you all for joining me, and thank you everyone for watching. And we will see you again next week after New York and Las Vegas night and double elimination. So we will see you then.